Hi, this is a bonus lesson on rendering. In it, we will look at how to create a 2D style in Cinema 4D. There are times when you need to make your animations look flat. Sometimes it's enough to create and animate in After Effects, but some things are much easier to create in Cinema 4D. And so the first and easiest way to create an object in 2D style is to use the Luminance material. For this, we need a standard Cinema 4D renderer. The Luminance material is also included in the Redshift renderer, but as experience has shown, the standard renderer in this case is faster. Go to the render settings. Standard renderer is selected by default. Next, create a standard material. Go to Create, Materials, New Standard Material. Click on the material 2 times. Open the material editor. Uncheck these parameters and turn them on only in the Luminance parameter. Next, set up the desired colors in the material. This is essentially all. We just need to create another material and set a different color for it. Then apply them to objects. This is how we create a simulation of 2D objects. This method allows you to quickly animate the rotation of an object. This will take longer in After Effects. Moreover, you will have less possibilities when working with the object. The next method is using the cell shader from the Sketch and Tune effect. It allows you to create shadows and flares. Go to the Luminance settings, open this tab, go to Sketch and Tune, select Cell Shader. This is the material we got. Click on it 2 times to open the settings. For us to see how it works, we need to run the renderer. But I will use the interactive renderer region so that I don't update the picture every time. Now let's go through the shader settings. The Diffuse tab allows you to adjust the color transition between dark and light areas of the object. You can adjust a number of colors to your liking. In this case, I'll keep 2 colors. Let's adjust them. This color is a little lighter, while the second is more saturated and darker. Now the object has depth, due to the use of colors here. For us to be able to control the lighter areas, we need to use light, since now the shader is reacting to the camera. To do this, create a new light source. We set its position in space. Uncheck the camera parameter and enable it in the lights parameter. As you can see, the light areas have shifted and now they react to light. By changing its position, you adjust the desired result. We can also set up a softer border in colors. To do this, open this tab. Select the color controller and set the smooth interpolation. It is with this point that we adjust the border and strength of the color transition, which allows you to create more interesting styles. Also, in this shader, it is possible to create specular. Its color and transition can be configured here. When the shadow parameter is on, this material will be affected by shadows. For demonstration purposes, I will create a plane and add material to it. Now turn on the shadow parameter in the shader. Nothing happens as we need to adjust the light source. Select the light object. Go to the Shadow tab and set it to Ray Traced Hard. As you can see, a shadow from the head object appears on the plane. We can change its color to a custom one. For this, select Color in the drop-down menu and set the desired color. I will change back the multiply mode. This shader allows you to create grain at the border of colors. We will use bump for this. Turn it on. Go to Texture and add noise. Adjust it. Let's make it smaller and more contrasting. Next, go back to Luminance, open its settings, and turn on Use Bump. As you can see, a grain has appeared on the border of the colors. To adjust its transition, you need to go to the bump parameter and adjust the strength. Please note that this effect does not affect the shadows, which basically is logical. But if you need to add grain to the shadow, you have to use tricks. First, we can only do this in post-processing. Secondly, you need to render the shadow on a separate channel. This requires you to do two things. In the first pass, render an animation or an image without shadows like this. Don't forget to turn on the alpha channel. Click Render. We have this picture on the alpha channel. The next step is to render the shadow. Turn on Shadow in the shader. I go to the Render settings. In the Multi-Pass tab, select Shadow and be sure to check the Multi-Pass parameter. After that, go to the Multi-Pass image settings. Set the path and format for saving the file. I usually use PNG. We set everything up perfectly. Press the Render button. Let's see the result. Open the Layer tab and see that the shadow layer is clean. This is because there are no shadows on the luminance material, although they are visible on the shader. But if we add a color to this material and re-render the image, the shadows in the shadow layer will appear. So we render a second time with the color parameter enabled in the material, and shadow in the shader. Remember to turn off main pass saving, as otherwise it will overwrite your previous result. The second time, we only need to keep the multi-pass shadow. This is how you can get the shadow channel. Then compose these layers in After Effects and add the desired stylization effects. Next, if you need an outline for objects, use the Sketch and Tune effect. To do this, go to the Render settings. Go to Effects and add Sketch and Tune. Up to this point, we have used the cell shader from this effect, and now we have applied the entire effect. And so we created a new material. It has many settings that are responsible for the appearance of the lines. Of all this abundance of tabs, often you only need to adjust the thickness and color. The rest of the settings are used very rarely. Let's go to the effect settings directly in the render. Select Sketch and Tune. We need the Lines tab. In it, we can configure the type of displayed lines. The second tab we're interested in is Shading. In it, we can turn off the background. Since by default the Sketch and Tune effect creates a white background which removes the alpha channel, which is necessary for compositing. In the Background tab, turn on the Off mode and get the alpha channel. These are the ways to create a flat style in 4D cinemas. And that concludes this lesson. Thank you all. Bye.